Now, you worked for Bill Cosby before?
Yes, I did work for Bill Cosby. When I came from Chicago in 1997, I had a gig. I was the audience coordinator for his last Cosby show, not the main one on NBC. It was CBS, where he was by himself with Felicia Rashad. It was called Cosby with Dougie Doug. It was Dougie Doug. It was on like for 4 or 5 seasons. Dougie Doug, Madeline Kahn, and Felicia Rashad. And I got a job in Queens because I was living in and you're gonna like this one. I was living in Long Island City, Queens, right? And my roommate was Mike Epps. We were roommates. We had the same manager. If you interviewed T.K. Kirkland, right?
Yep.
T to the motherfucking K. T.K. Kirkland brought me out to New York City. He saw me in Chicago. I used to do shows with him at this place called All Jokes Aside, which was run by this lady named Mary Lindsay, Raymond Lambert, James Alexander. I'll give them a shout out. And they ran, so I used to do shows with T.K. Kirkland because T.K. is gangster. He had gangster comedy. Me, I'm a college kid talking about, hey. But the show went well. And so T.K. said, this is what T.K. said. You know how T.K.'s so blatant. He goes, hey, man, I like you, man. You corny to the motherfucker. I'm going to take you to New York City. I'm like, so TK brought me, Mike Epps, and all of us and got us management. You know, we were managed by the people who they were the same managers as John Leguizamo, Sandra Bullock, whatever. So I got this gig in Queens for the Cosby Show, and I was the warm up. I was warming up the Cosby Show. You know what I mean? And so it was an 8-hour day, and you know, as a comedian, you're working for Bill Cosby. You're like, fuck, what? Fucking, you see, and I said, what? Bill Cosby, okay? And here's the thing, with what has transpired with his career right now, shit, I mean, it's almost like a house of cards, you know? All the shit that he's accomplished, because as a comic, I look up to Bill Cosby. We all, like, even Jerry Seinfeld bows down to Bill Cosby, because Bill Cosby even influenced Richard Pryor. You know that, right? Richard Pryor wanted to be like Bill Cosby. He said, I want to be like that guy. But then eventually Richard Pryor changed and said, I ain't Bill Cosby. I'm this motherfucker. You know what I mean? He's like, Bill Cosby was, you see, and you put in the thing. But if you listen to Richard Pryor, his voice kind of sounds like Cosby in some ways. When Richard's like, you see, that's some funny shit, Jack. When he'll do that, Cosby does that. You see, what in the world are you going? And you can go from Cosby to, you see, and people, you got to sit down, and then, you see, you niggas is crazy shit. You see how the Cosby and the Pryor are similar? You see, and so Bill Cosby was like the prototype, and because Bill Cosby was the first African-American on network television with I Spy. Bill Cosby was, Jell-O pudding, Texas Instruments, one of the first African-Americans, one of the first to really push products, commercial products.
I mean, I remember when Coca-Cola launched New Coke.
Yeah.
Which, it didn't end up working out. But
right.
Bill Cosby was the spokesman
for
the biggest beverage on earth.
On earth. He was the biggest. See, so for African-Americans, you think about, even in, he was on Electric Company, Picture Pay, for education. So he was on every level of television. Movies with Uptown Saturday Night with Sidney Poitier, blaxploitation. He was doing educational. So he was on all genres and all forms of media. You understand? He covered it all. And his comedy was like, he has 5 Grammys for his albums. He won 5 Grammys. You feel me? He was one of the few blacks that was on the Jack Parr show. And those shows, but a lot of those shows back in the day didn't let black comedians on. You see this Dick Gregory I'm wearing? Shout out to Baba Gregory. Dick Gregory, I'm wearing this. Dick Gregory was one of those guys who were one of the few guys that got invited to white television. And Cosby was that guy that really opened up the doors. See, every genre, 60s, 70s, 80s, NBC was in last place before the Cosby Show. The president of NBC was Brandon Tartikoff, and thank God for that guy. That guy's passed away. But they pitched him. They showed him, hey, we have this thing called the Cosby Show, where a guy's a doctor and the wife's a lawyer, and people were like, no one's gonna believe that there could be a black doctor, black lawyer live in the same household because everybody was used to good times and right. So Cosby, they take the show, and NBC goes #1 overnight, #1 before Seinfeld, Cheers, before Friends, all that shit. Bill Cosby single-handedly made the made NBC #1 in the ratings for 8 years. And then they had A Different World. And A Different World was like, I was in college, man. There were a lot of black people in college, Vlad. Millions of us. We go to college and we fucking graduate. You see? And Different World spoke to me like, what? Dwayne Wade, I knew what Dwayne Wade, I knew what Bill Cosby was genius with that shit. And here was the thing, Bill didn't like a lot of other comedians, like D.L. Hughley. I saw that interview. D.L., right. Jamie Foxx, he used to call Eddie Murphy, you remember? And complain about our style of comedy, which I thought that was not fair because we can't be you, Bill. You understand? We can't be, you see? And then the people came and you started saying firing and the fucking the zabadoo. I always do dabadoo. That's my thing. But Bill Cosby, when I was working for him, he cursed. I've seen him curse on set.
Really?
Yeah, man. Because when we were doing a rehearsal, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? It was like, the fuck. But it was not, it's a Bill Cosby curse. Motherfucker, what are you doing? It was, you know what I mean? And then, with all these allegations that are happening, I mean, how many women came out?
Like 30?
Like 100, right? There
like
was 30 on the front cover of the New Yorker. Did you see that? When they were all just sitting there, everybody, he put a finger in their butt. They were all like, 1962, Cosby put his finger in my ass. I swear to God. And so when that happened, I was like, I had heard about him with women. I've heard about that. First of all, when I was working on the Cosby Show, I would see girls. I would see girls on the set. Fine motherfuckers. And I'd be like, thinking, okay, shit, maybe I can go over there and talk to him. But somebody would be like, oh no, they're here from Mr. Cosby. Oh, they must be a young actress trying to. First of all, listen, I'm not saying that anybody deserves it, but what are you doing there? What are you over there for? Knowing Cosby's married, right? Cosby's married. First of all, Cosby says it in his act. My wife, Camille, and my 5 kids. He said it. Camille, my wife, and the kids, and the wife. Why are you over there? That's all I'm saying. But people want to make it so badly, and Cosby had a lot of power. You understand? He had a lot of power.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just looked it up. Cosby is worth $400 million.
See?
Now, to put it in comparison, Eddie Murphy is worth $85 million.
But you know what? I'd rather be Eddie Murphy with no charges.
Right.
Fuck that. You $400 million about to go to jail, motherfucker. I think, first of all, $85 million plus freedom is worth more than you know what I mean? Let's add that shit up. Because Cosby can go, I got $400 million. Eddie be like, I'm free, motherfucker. I'm free, and your ass ain't. Bye-bye. Make sure when you go in the cell, you breathe like this.
I'm just saying that. I mean, because I didn't even realize these numbers until I looked them up. I mean, because I thought Eddie Murphy and Bill Cosby were right around the same level, but clearly they're not.
I think Cosby, as far as like investments and just product, I think, and TV shows, his TV money. That's where I think that is the accumulation is because it makes sense that he has more money than Eddie, though. It makes sense. Like Eddie has, regardless, 85 million. Shit. I want them goddamn problems. You know what I'm saying? So, Cosby is, I don't know what, it's in November. I guess they're going to go through another trial or whatever. But I didn't know he was knocking them out. I didn't know that shit. But here's another thing. I know some black people saying, and I'm into conspiracy sometimes. I'm into that pro-black shit. They're saying that Cosby wanted to buy a network again. He was thinking about, hey man, I want to get a network going. And then all of a sudden, that's when the rape charges came. That's when, because remember the last time they talked about his illegitimate daughter Remember that girl that was trying to, and that was around the same time Cosby was trying to get a network again. He was trying to like buy a network, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, illegitimate daughter. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes people, I believe in railroading, motherfucker. I believe people do that. I don't know. But that's the thing going around too. Like Cosby wanted to buy a network and they said, we have to stop him because they don't want no brother owning no goddamn network. This is what I heard. And I'm 50-50 with it because I don't put it past this damn country to do shit like that. You feel where I'm coming from?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess it's just sort of crazy how you have someone who's built up such a legacy, and at this point, like near the end of his life, all of that just got torn to shreds.
Shreds. And now if you say Cosby, it's a curse word now. Because when I bring up Cosby, because I would imitate him, you know? I imitate him. And now it's like, and now I actually have a Cosby rape joke. I had to do it. I have a Cosby rape joke. And my whole joke is, I know, and people still, when I ask, hey, how many people believe Cosby did it? Not a lot of clapping. They still don't believe it. I mean, 3,000 women came out and they're still like, nah, man, I ain't sure about that. You know what I mean? His reputation is so amazing that we don't want to believe it. We're like that was our father figure. That was America's dad. Damn, dude. You know what I mean? Now he's America's dirty uncle. You feel where I'm coming from? And so like it's tough because okay. Did you see the footage of him on YouTube where he's actually telling Larry King how to drug a chick? Have you seen it? You haven't seen it? You got to see it. It's on YouTube and he's going, you see, you just take just a tiny bit of Spanish fly, you put it, it's just the size of a pin. You just put it inside the drink and boy, good, God bless America. You didn't see him do that shit? Larry's like, he's like, tell us, how do you do it? You know, Larry's like, and Cosby's literally telling you how to drug a chick. You see what I'm saying? And you know what? And I'm gonna tell you the joke I do. I basically say Cosby doesn't have the rape face. That's why we didn't believe him. Because he was doing this for 50 years. Remember this shit? Remember the opening of Cosby? See, we remember all this and that dancing shit, and you can't believe he actually raped somebody doing that shit. He's like, here, take something to drink. And he starts dancing. You know that she's about to get knocked out. Oh, yeah, you're getting sleepy. Fuck. I mean, it's a shame. But here's another thing that pissed me off. The thing that made me mad about Cosby is when he would dog other black people. Like say, you know, when he would talk about the education of our children. You guys are stupid. Your kids can't read. Your parents are stupid. You pull up your pants and this shit happens. And did you see the footage of him going, hey, hey, hey? Did you see that shit? When he was getting dragged into the courtroom, he's like, hey.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He just yelled out, because he's going to have to pull out all his cartoon shit. Like, he's going to have to get the judge to say not guilty by, he's going to be like, hey, he's going to do everything. He's going to be like, oh, and then let's see, oh, he's going to do everything. I'm telling you, he's going to dance. He's going to try to get out of this shit. He's going to use all his comedic skills.
Yeah, man.
It's
Crazy.
sad. It's sad. It's one of the biggest.
Yeah.
I think since the Roman Empire, this is one of the biggest fucking falls. I mean, he's fallen hard, man, hard.